So indicate your answer by selecting from the code. Here they have given A, B, C, D, C, E, F. Okay. So we have to study. Here teaching and learning are integrally related. There is no difference between teaching and training. Concern of all teaching is to ensure some kind of transformation in students, and all good teaching is formal in nature. A teacher is a senior person, and a teaching is a social act, whereas learning is a personal act. So based on this question and answers, we are of the opinion that for this one the correct answer is answer D. That is A, C, F. We all know that teaching and learning are integrally related. Of course, we can't separate them. And concern of all teaching is to ensure some kind of transformation in students. Okay, what the main the ability, the objectives of teaching is to transform, to bring some transformation among our students. And teaching is a social act, whereas learning is a personal act. Okay, the right answer is 3. And which of the following learner characteristics is highly related to effectiveness of teaching? Here the prior experience of the learner, educational status of the parents of the learner, peer groups of the learner, and family size from which the learner comes. Let's look at the right answer then. Here the prior experience of the learner is the main characteristic that is related to the effectiveness of teaching. As we all know that, okay, whenever we are going to start anything to teach in the classes, we are going to check the previous knowledge of the students. Okay, here the right one is that the prior experience of the learner is the right one. And let's move on to question number 3. In the two sets given below, set 1 indicates methods of teaching, while set 2 provides the basic requirements for success and effectiveness. Match the two sets and indicate your answer by choosing the right code. Let's look at the options then. Lecturing, a small step presentation with feedback provided, discussion in groups, production of large number of ideas, brainstorming, content delivery in a lucid language, then programmed instructional, use of teaching aids, procedure, and theme-based integration among participants. Here the right answer is answer 3. That is 3, 5, 2 and 1. Okay. Here that is the 3. The content delivery in a lucid language, and the theme-based interaction among participants, and the production of large number of ideas, then a small step presentation with feedback provided. And let's move on to question number 4. From the list of evaluation procedures given below, identify those which will be called formative evaluation. Indicate your answer by choosing from the code. Here a teacher awards grades to students after having transacted the course work or during integration with students in the classroom. The teacher provides corrective feedback. The teacher gives marks to the students on a unit test. The teacher clarifies the doubts of students in the class itself. The overall performance of a student is reported to parents at every 3 months interval. And option F is the learner's motivation is raised by the teacher through a question answer session. Let's look at it. Formative assessment means it includes or it involves VDF, that is during interaction with students in the classroom, the teacher provides corrective feedback, and the teacher clarifies the doubts of the students in the class itself. Then and there, the teacher will clarify the doubts. And one more, the learner's motivation is raised by the teacher through a question answer session. Let's move on to the question number 5. Here assertion A, all teaching should aim at ensuring learning, and all learning results from teaching. Okay, let's look at it. The right answer is answer number 3 here. A is true. That is, we all know that all teaching should aim at ensuring learning, but all learning results from teaching is false. Okay, we can learn away from the teaching. Then let's move on to question numbers which are asked in the NET examination December 2017. Which of the following set of statements best represent the nature and objective of teaching and learning? Teaching is like selling and learning like buying. Okay, teaching is a social act while learning is a personal act. Teaching implies learning, whereas learning does not imply teaching. Teaching is a kind of delivery of knowledge while learning is like receiving it. Teaching is an interaction and is a triadic in nature, whereas learning is an active engagement in a subject domain. The right answer is answer 1, that is A, D, E. Teaching is like selling and learning like buying. And next, the D one is that teaching is a kind of delivery of knowledge while learning is like receiving it. And teaching is an interaction and is triadic in nature, whereas learning is an active engagement in a subject domain. From the list given below, identify the learner characteristics which would facilitate teaching learning system to become effective. Choose the correct code to indicate your answer. The prior experience of learner, learner's family lineage, aptitude of the learner, learner's stage of development, learner's food habits and hobbies, learner's religious affiliation. The right answer is option that is 1, A, C, D. Prior experience of the learner, it counts, and aptitude of the learner, it counts, and finally that is the learner stage of development is also involves. Okay, let's move on to the next question. That assertion, all teaching implies learning, and learning to be useful must be derived from teaching. Here choose the right answer from the following. Both A and R are true. R is the correct and explanation of A. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Here the right answer is answer 1, that is both A and R are true, and R is the right or the correct explanation of A. That is, all teaching implies learning. Learning to be useful must be derived from teaching. And on the basis of summative tests, a teacher is interpreting his or her students' performance in terms of their wellness lifestyle evident in behavior. This will be called as the criterion referenced testing. Okay, let's move on to question number 5. Which of the following is a key behavior in effective teaching? Okay, the right answer is option that is 3, instructional variety. It brings some effectiveness in teaching and brings a lot of changes in the behavior. Okay, and which of the following set of statements represent acceptable propositions in respect of learning teaching relationships? Choose the correct code to indicate your answer. Okay, here the right answer is 2, that is 1, 2, 3 and 5. When students fail in test, it's the teacher who fails. Of course, that is well known. And every teaching must aim at ensuring learning. And there can be teaching without learning taking place. Okay. And the 5th one, a teacher teaches but learners also. Okay. A teacher teaches but learns also. A teacher is always a good student. What we can say is, let's move on to the next question. That is, learning is a lifelong process. Learning to be useful must be linked with the life processes. Okay, the answer is, it is 2. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Here, learning is a lifelong process, as we all know that, but learning to be useful must be linked with life processes is not at all a correct explanation for the A. And effectiveness of teaching has to be judged in terms of course coverage, students' interest, learning outcomes of the students, and use of teaching aids in the classroom. Here, the right answer is learning outcomes of the students, the effectiveness of the teaching. Okay, that depends upon the learning outcomes of the student. and in which teaching method learners' participation is made optimal and proactive. That is discussion method, buzz session method, brainstorming session method, project method. Here the right answer is 1, that is discussion. When we provide the chance to discuss about, so automatically the learners, they will take the active participation and they will try to share their opinions about the given topic, so that it the participation is made very optimal and proactive. And one of the most powerful factors affecting teaching effectiveness is related to the social system of the country, economic status of the society, prevailing political system, educational system. The right answer is, that is the educational system. Okay. And let's move on to the next question, that is formative evaluation tends to accelerate the pace of learning. Okay, and as against formative evaluation is highly reliable. Here the right answer is 3, that is A is true but R is false. That is, the formative evaluation tends to accelerate the pace of learning. That is true, but as against summative evaluation, formative is highly reliable, not at all. Okay, and the question which are asked in September 2016 NET examination, the best way for providing value education is through discussions on scriptural text, lecture or discourses on values, and seminars or symposia on values, or mentoring or reflective sessions on values. Here the lecture or discourses on values is the right answer. And which set of learner characteristics may be considered helpful in designing effective teaching learning systems? Select the correct alternative from the course given below. Here the right one is, that is answer B, that is 1, 3, 4 and 6. Okay, that is 1, the prior experience of learners in respect of the subject, and the ability of the learners in respect of the subject, and the student's language background, and the motivational and orientation of the student. These they will affect, these are the characteristics may be considered which are helpful in designing effective teaching learning process. And a college level assistant professor has planned his or her lectures with an intent to develop cognitive dimensions of students, student-centered and skills of analysis and synthesis. Below given are 2 sets of items. Set 1, that's consisting of levels of cognitive interchange. Then set 2, comprising basic requirements for promoting them. Match the 2 sets and indicate your answer by choosing the correct alternative from code set 1 and set 2. Here the memory level, giving opportunity for discriminating example and non-examples of a point. Our understanding level, recording the important points made during the presentations. Our reflective level, that is asking the students to discuss various items of information. The last one is the critically analyzing the points to be made and discussed. Here the right one is answer C, that is 214, that is recording the important points made during the presentation, and then giving opportunity for discriminating examples and non-examples of a point, and critically analyzing the points to be made and discussed. And match the items of the first set with that of the second set in respect of evaluation system. So here the formative evaluation they have given, formative evaluation, evaluating cognitive and co-cognitive aspects with regularity, or summative evaluation, that is tests and their interpretation based on a group and certain yardsticks. Then continuation comprehension, okay, that is grading the final learning outcomes evaluation. Then norm and criterion referenced, okay, quizzes and discussion tests. The right answer is A, that is 4312. Okay, there is a quizzes and discussion tests, then grading the final learning outcomes evaluation, and evaluating cognitive and co-cognitive aspects with regularity, then test and their interpretations based on a group and criterion yardsticks. Okay, Let's move on to the next question, that is selecting alternative which consists of positive factors contributing to effectiveness of teaching are. Here the list of factors they have given: the teacher's knowledge of the subject, teacher's socio-economic background, communication skill of the teacher, teacher's ability to please the students, the teacher's personal contact with the students, teacher's competence in managing and monitoring the classroom. Here the points are to be counted are this ACF, that is teacher's knowledge of the subject. One should have a mastery over the subject, then only we can see the effectiveness in the classes as well as in the teaching. And communication skills of the teacher. This is the first and the foremost important thing or quality. A teacher should have this communicative skill. And the teacher's competence in managing and monitoring the classroom transactions. That is also very important. So these are the points. They what you can create some positive factors in creating the quality teaching. Let's move on to the question number 6, that is the use of teaching aids is justified on the grounds of that is the effective engagement of students in learning tasks. Okay, then assertion: the purpose of higher education is to promote critical and creative thinking abilities among students. Here these abilities ensure job placements. Let's see, the answer is that is A is true and R is false. That is, the purpose of higher education is to promote critical and creative thinking abilities among our students. And as a teacher, select the best option to ensure your effective presence in the classroom. Use of peer command, making aggressive statements, adoption of well-established posture, being authoritarian. Here the adoption of well-established posture is the right one. That's a quality should a teacher have. And imagine you are working in an educational institution where people are of equal status. Which method of communication is best suited and normally employed in such a context? Here the horizontal communication method is the best one to address in such a context. Then identify the important element of a teacher has to take cognizance of while addressing students in a classroom. That is avoidance of proximity, voice modulation, repetitive pause and fake response. Here option, that is the voice modulation, is the best one and the important element for a teacher to recognize or the cognizance of while addressing the students. So these are all the questions. I hope that I tried my level best. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel and let's wait for the some other next questions which are asked on 15, 14 and other years we are going to discuss in the next part of our video. Until then, take care. Thank you. Bye.